everybody! Excited utterance here. My name's Ella, and I'm back. I'm back. How exciting! How exciting! I'm alive. Can you believe it? I'm alive. I'm alive. Okay, so this is what happened, right? So there was this cyclone, and it was kind of off the coast of Australia, and his name was Alfred. His name was Alfred, and he was a category 2, which I think is opposite to the way that you guys do hurricanes, right? So they're backwards hurricanes, basically. Exactly the same thing as a hurricane, but backwards. And he kind of went out that way, and then he came back this way, and we don't ever get them down here, right? So, like, when I say down here, I'm in Brisbane, and we're a little bit too low, as in it's not the waters aren't warm enough down here to sustain the cyclone, but this one did. And so our houses down here aren't made for cyclones. So everyone freaked out, and they bought all of the food from all the shops, and I boarded up my windows. Like, I actually now shut the windows. And yeah, everyone freaked out. And then we waited and waited and waited and waited, and the cyclone didn't come. It was just sitting out there, out on the ocean, just spinning around, going, gotten a bit of stage fright. And eventually, finally, it came like yesterday. And I survived. Yay. Because I'm here. Just a little bit of water came in that window right there. Like that actual window. There's a little bit of like dripping coming down, I think, from the eaves. And I can't go anywhere because there is like roads cut everywhere. There's lots of flooding around my area. Like, fortunately, not in my property, but all around my area. My mom doesn't have power. Lots of people don't have power. So there's lots of things that have happened. A few people have passed away, unfortunately, by, being lost in floodwaters and things. So that kind of stuff's happened. So there's lots of disaster in my city, but I'm okay. Yay. Made it. And so what I thought I'd do is have a catch up, because I have had internet this whole time. I just haven't had enough internet to be able to stream, and obviously I've had other things on my mind. So I've seen things happening, right? Stuff's been happening in all the cases that I follow. I've noticed that a bunch of new filings have come out in the Kohberger case. I've noticed that there was a response to Nick McClelland's response to the Reese Davis letters. All sorts of things have happened. So I thought I'd get some mates on and have everybody, including chat, catch me up. So let's do it. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, I have mates here. Hey, mates.
Welcome back to YouTube.
I know, right? It's been like 20 years. Or maybe like 5 days or something. I don't know, something like that. But so I've got David from Making More Simple. Hi, David.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, I have my lovely co-host over there, Dali. Hello, Dali.
Hello.
And look, I've got my friend Ange. Hey, isn't she gorgeous? And you know what? The thing with Ange is she's got hair that would kind of be like mine a few days ago when it all like frizzed up and got curly because of the humidity, the moisture in the air. But it's actually pretty. Mine was like out all over the place.
Tell me about
and
it.
Dave's here. Dave.
What up?
What up? What up? And also, we're gonna have Sean, potentially criminal, here really shortly as well. So he's on his way. Hi,
Awesome.
Chat. Hi, Chat. How are you? Court of Public Opinion says, "Go. We run one re-election. Boo. Unopposed for judge." Okay, she was unopposed. For judge in the Allen County Superior Court, number 5 in Indiana in 2020. Her current term ends on December 31, 2026. We need to find a candidate to run against her. Who wants to go be a judge in Indiana? Friend girl in Indiana.
No, thank you.
Who
would want to be judged anywhere? I was thinking about that. Like, I have a former golf colleague. I say he was an attorney. He was a prosecutor, and we became friends, and we would golf a lot. And he was appointed judge, and he was really excited about it. He was kind of angling for it. And I just thought, who would want to be judge? He loves it, but I don't know if I'd want to do it. It sounds horrible.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, it sounds so bad, dude.
I mean, you have like it's like the genie, in Aladdin, right? You have all this power, but you're like stuck in a bottle, right? So as a judge, you have tremendous authority and power, but you're stuck on the bench. You can only handle the cases that come before you. You're a civil servant. All of it sounds horrible.
A tortured soul.
Yeah, if you will.
Soul,
a
indeed.
tortured soul. All judges are tortured souls.
Can you hear me?
Asking. Now we can hear you.
Okay.
Hey, how are you, Ange?
I'm pretty good. I'm doing good.
What you been up to?
So, Ange, tell me about yourself because I don't know you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, go.
I mostly live in the Delphi nightmare. So
I got a 3-part series for you to watch on Apple Podcasts or listen to if you want to get to low down on this lady.
No. If you want to read all my DMs, you can listen to a certain podcast that also covers Delphi. But
we're not going there.
Yeah, no, I just mostly Delphi. Hella has gotten me into some other cases. She introduced me to Zachariah Anderson, which I had no idea about. I just remember when that trial concluded and he was convicted, I was one of those people watching all the clips of like, look at him, what was it, threatening his daughter and coercing his daughter. Look at his man bun. Yeah, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Because the camera was trained on him and not the mother, Sadie Beecham, who was doing way more stuff, like literally signing to her daughter while she's on the stand.
Yeah.
That was a disastrous case.
Yeah.
I'm glad more people are looking at it though.
Yes, we need to spend more time on that, but we have a little issue of a man in Delphi who's still fighting right now. But yeah, we do need to spend more time on that case. In fact, just before you go on, do you know, David, what's going on with the appeal
with Zachariah Anderson?
Yeah.
They requested one more extension. They're still working on some stuff. That's all I know. There was supposed to be a brief filed in April. No, I'm sorry, not April. There's supposed to be a brief filed in like November or October or November, and they asked for an extension. And then it's due to come up here this April is when it's due, but I believe they're looking for another extension. So I'm going to say that it's not a bad thing. I would like to see a brief. As soon as there is a brief, I will be doing a stream on it.
Yeah.
But right now they're just they keep extending stuff out. And they're kind of being a little hush hush about it. They don't want to reveal their cards, so I don't know what new information's coming in, why they need the extension, what they're looking at. We're just going to have to wait and see. Emily's been a little radio silent, and so is Solomon because of strategy and all of that. So that's where we are.
Okay. Keep going, Ange.
And my documentary is going swimmingly.
Oh, it's still going?
David's making a documentary on it.
About what? About
Zachariah Anderson.
Really? Oh.
Well, so I want to do it in a compelling way. So originally I was going to do a sort of standard documentary format, but I want to introduce the case to people that haven't seen it before, that don't know anything's going on. But I also want it to be entertaining for people who have done all the deep dives. So I've actually switched it to a docu-drama. And so there's actually, I'm drafting a script for it.
Wow.
And there's going to be intercut between animation where we don't have the actual video or anything like that to show, and then switch over to part of the trial stream and things like that. So in order to do that, I needed to actually develop a script. And so that's the process that I'm at now. And I have the first portion of the script is up on my Patreon. So anyone who's a member over there can see that. But that's how I'm doing it now, because I want it to be something that grabs everyone's attention and is actually an interesting movie sort of thing to watch.
Hey, if you want me to play Zach, I can do a man bun pretty soon.
There's so many people that want to play like Sadie and Zach and all this stuff. Yeah.
No, I'll be Solomon.
Charlie, you'd just be such a handsome Zach.
How about Ange can be the star of her introduction?
So the way I'm doing the video portion of it is it's animated, and I'm taking live action and converting it into animation with the idea that I can do it on a budget. So if somebody sets up a camera, and it doesn't even need to be like the best, and sort of acts it out, and then I can remove the background, put them in the background I want them to, cartoonize it, sort of thing, and then it'll actually make sense. So that's what I'm working on right now to make sure that it functionally works, because I don't have the resources to go around and film people, real actors, and in location. So, but first I got to get the script done. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. It'll be a lot of fun.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, R&M Productions.
Yes, that's Ange.
I was actually talking about running for judge of Allen County, but I'll also do whatever else you need.
Awkward.
That's you, R&M Productions?
Yep.
Okay, so you and I need to connect then.
Sure.
If you want to
does beautiful video. Like you've done a lot of really nice.
If I had it all the time, that's what I would do. Yeah.
I did a mock-up because I wanted it to be. I wanted it to have a certain look, so I did a mock-up of what I kind of wanted this to look like, and I did it comic book style. And so I can show you real quick what that's the wrong file. What the sort of the look is. And this is like the opening shot, which is trying to establish potentially motivation for certain actors in this story. And so that is, remember, there was the same prosecutor's office in the same case with Rittenhouse.
So,
and they have
see that guy bottom right? See that guy bottom right? You think McClelland's an asshole? Right? So, like, this is the prosecutor in Zachariah Anderson. He's the most annoying person in the entire universe.
Well, he's the elected prosecutor, and he's the one that actually headed up the prosecution of Zachariah Anderson. But he's also the one that all the fallout from the Rittenhouse trial fell on his shoulders. And so I'm sort of setting this up with the Rittenhouse acquittal, and then we go into the whole Zachariah Anderson case, where he's looking to retire. He needs a sort of a win because he just had this politically disastrous trial result in an acquittal, and there's like people rioting outside the courthouse and outside of his offices. And so that's sort of the setting for the motivation for his particular character arc in the story of Zachariah Anderson. So that's what I'm looking at doing.
True.
I don't know if any of that makes sense to everybody.
Cool.
It makes a lot more sense if you actually looked at the script that I put up.
Okay, where's J-Rock? J-Rock's here somewhere. J-Rock, stop simping. Apparently, my sister is smoking hot. That'd be you, Ange.
I thought he was talking about me.
Thank you.
Dear, subscribe to Dali too. Absolutely. Hey, J-Rock, how are you? And Shibbles is here. Hello, Shibbles.
Make sure you guys all hit the like button too, by the way.
Make sure you do.
Enjoying this.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So, yes, and Ange, also, you've made a lot of like beautiful long form videos and interviews and things. I saw your gorgeous one with Connie. Tell us a little bit about that.
I just one day decided that I had a thing I wanted to say about Delphi, and I was messing around. I actually had to I got like voluntold at the job I had at the time to make a video, and I'd never made a video before. So I made a video for my job, and I was like, that was kind of fun. So then I started making videos for not my job, and using like the most basic noob amateur programs ever, but I really enjoyed it. And so now that's kind of how I start. I mean, before I de-anonymized myself. I was doing that for most of the time I was covering Delphi until like this year.
What software do you use?
So I was using is DB in here. DB got me into CapCut is what I use. I was using InShot before, and now I use both. And I don't actually use a real software. I use like an app on my iPad Pro.
It doesn't matter what software you use. Like people say things like that. Doesn't matter.
There's a great app called Splice that you can use on your iPad. I find it very user friendly. There's a lot of features to it, so you can be like extremely professional and high end work, or you can use it very quickly and produce a quick little cheap video. It's called Splice. It's like a monthly subscription thing that I use on my phone, and that's how I do all the clips. If you ever see my clips of Hella or Dolly, I just quickly throw it into Splice, do a quick little edit, and throw it up, and it's in a matter of minutes. Or I can do something more in depth. But on my computer, I use PowerDirector.
Nice. Can confirm they're very fast. He clips us very, very quickly and puts them on YouTube. And whilst we're streaming, there is.
I'll post a link.
Yes. Immediately, there is a link in our chat of us. Yes, doing something stupid. Anyway, so
More than
Deeb,
usual.
tell us a bit about Deeb.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, I'm glad you got through the cyclone.
Thank you.
It's heartwarming. In America, the last really big cyclone we had was this song by Baby Bash. And it went pretty hard, but you should check it out. So thanks for having me. I'm here. And believe it or not, I'm a Jennifer Crumbley stan. So
Really?
shout out MLS.
All right. So I know because when I invited you and I said that David will be here, you said, "Oh, cool. I want to ask him about the Crumbley case."
I was just trying to type to V real quick in chat. Zachariah Anderson, prosecutor, was Gravely. He's the elected prosecutor. The assistant prosecutor that led the prosecution against Rittenhouse worked under Gravely, but it's still Gravely's office. So hopefully that clarifies.
Yeah. And
so what were you saying about your Jennifer Crumbley stand? Wait, what'd you say?
Stan.
So there's this song by the recording artist Eminem, and it's Stan.
I get it.
Yeah,
Stan. Okay.
So yeah, I followed that case pretty closely, and I just think it's fucking stupid, and I think there's a whole conglomerate of the media that might have actually been incentivized to push the stories that they were. So.
Oh,
I know
wow. Do we want to talk about that? Do we want to talk about what the prosecutor said just recently?
We can talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about that because I don't know anything about this.
She paid $36,000 to a public relations firm on November 30th, 2021, immediately after the shooting, and then was paid.
What do you mean by immediately after?
Well, so the shooting was on November 20th. So 10 days after, she hired a public relations firm, paid him $36,000 to handle the public relations regarding the shooting, working for the prosecutor. Pushed the narrative of, the parents are on the run. We got to look at the parents' issue. They pushed the narrative involving, we need more parental responsibility in these types of situations and all of that. And then they still, they continued to pay a second PR firm like $1,400 a month, continuing all the way through the end of James Crumbley's trial. So when you mentioned, they might still be doing it. I'm not sure.
There's also a $100,000 contract that her appellate attorney just talked about.
Okay, so there's even more that I'm not even aware of. But when you talk about, the news media having, sort of positioned themselves in line with the prosecutor, there was a very good reason for that. There were PR teams literally working to push that narrative, and very expensive ones. So that's
something really wrong with that. There's something really, really wrong with that. I don't care who the defendant is. I don't care what the case is. if a prosecutor is getting out there and buying people's points of view, that's basically what it is, right? You are buying people's points of view. You're buying an ad campaign to get people to think a certain thing about the defendant.
But it's
That's
not even
wrong.
that. Here's the thing. It's not even that. If you want to influence people's, the public perception of something is one thing, right? You're a politician. That's what politicians do. But what you're doing is you're influencing the jury pool, right?
Yes.
You are broadcasting this out to the pool of prospective jurors in this case. So that's the unethical issues that were raised in the most recent filings.
Yes.
That is the unlawful issues. Technically, that is a violation of the law to try to influence prospective jurors. We talked about that with Karen Reed and Turtle Boy, right? So there is a law on the books in Michigan that says that you can't do it. And if you're directly involved with the case, you can't be trying to manipulate the jury pool that way. So it is a serious issue. And the fact that it was sort of hidden, and the fact that they were also offering essentially immunity deals to two key witnesses, the two who I think are more responsible. If anyone's responsible other than the shooter, it's those two guys that got the immunity deals. Well, I think all of that calls into question the prosecutor's conduct.
Is it an immunity deal or was it a proffer? And can you explain the difference?
Sure. So an immunity deal is where you have a written contract between the prosecutor's office and the witness that says no matter what you testify to, we are not going to use it against you for the purposes of criminally prosecuting you. So I'm sorry, I messed that up. That's a proffered agreement. That is whatever you testify to, we're not going to use against you. An immunity deal is we're not going to charge you at all if you testify in this case, right? We're not going to charge you. If you don't testify, then we're going to charge you. If you do testify, then we're not going to charge you. That's an immunity deal. What they got was, hey, if you come up and testify, whatever you say, we're not going to use it against you should we choose to prosecute you in the future. Right. And so that's how they got around it, by saying it wasn't an immunity deal. It was just a proffer agreement. But
they didn't disclose it, right?
But they didn't disclose it, which is the first Brady violation. And then the other one is it really, were you really getting at the truth? Or the way it was worded was that if you testify favorably for the prosecutor, then we won't use anything against you. So is that an attempt to manipulate the witness's testimony? Because that's the way it was written. Like if you testify in a favorable manner or something along those lines, I don't remember. I had a stream where we read it, but it was something along those lines. So is that manipulating witness testimony? I would say that you can make the argument, and Jennifer's attorneys are, in fact, making that argument, and they're doing a pretty good job at it.
Would they have even came in and talked to the prosecutor without some type of agreement if they were facing some type of criminal liability?
No, they were already lawyered up at the time. This agreement was negotiated between their lawyers, so they would not have said anything. Yeah, it sounds like, anyways. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room, right? But when you're lawyered up, you usually are not going to be freewheeling sitting down with attorney or with the prosecutor's office or police to do an interview unless you have some sort of assurances. And I'm sure their attorneys did ask for these assurances, and it was proper for their attorneys and even them to do it. It was improper for the prosecutor not to disclose them. So, so that's a new reveal. So now they're actually asking the Oakland County prosecutor to be removed from the case. I don't know if that's going to happen or if it would even help at this point. But I think this most recent motion is more for the PR of it and saying, hey, there's some shady ass shit going on over here with this prosecution, public, right? I don't think it's going to have any legal effect. I don't think it'd be granted in the first place, and even if it is, I don't think it'll have an effect. But it's definitely exposing some things.
we'll talk about Delphi Bream. We're going to cover a few topics today. But I did want to answer you. Was it V? I didn't follow the Crumbley case, so don't know enough to opine. From what I've heard, it sets a dangerous precedent, and the parents were overcharged. Is that the general consensus? Well, there's a really big divide on this one, B. So many people think that it was a fantastic move and that the charges were absolutely justified and that those two people should be rotting in prison for the rest of their lives. And then there's a bunch of other people who think absolutely that they were overcharged, they shouldn't have been charged at all, and that it's a dangerous precedent, etc., etc. So I remember when this happened, people were like, you know how cases tend to divide people. This was big, like the divide was huge.
This is literally, there's different opinions in my household. So, yeah. But okay, talking about slippery slope, there's a case in Michigan where a teen was driving his new sports car. He was 16 or 17, and he got into a wreck, and two of his friends in the car with him died. Now the teen is being prosecuted, and there's a push to prosecute the parents as well. And the justification, or like the reason for the push, is that mom had texted son a few months before that saying, I see you on 360, you're driving too fast, slow down. And then proceeded to buy him a sports car and said, and so the justification, or in some people's minds, is, well, she knew he was he drove too fast and he was a reckless driver, and then you bought him this super fast sports car, so you knew he was going to put people's lives in danger. They should prosecute the parents. Now, the Wayne County prosecutor, Kim Worthy, has not brought charges, and it doesn't sound like she's going to, but that's sort of the slippery slope, right? So now everything that, every intentional wrongful act that a child does is going to come back on the parents seems ridiculous for the slightest of things. For the parent trying to discipline their child, saying slow down, is now going to come back and potentially cause her to be convicted criminally. These are sort of the questions we need to ask when we're prosecuting parents in these situations.
Very much so. Okay. So, can we talk a little bit about the other things that have happened over the last few days? So, guys, catch me up. What did I miss?
Kohberger, they dismissed all charges against Kohberger. They did a 180 with a directed verdict in the Delphi case.
Okay. Well, when's Rick coming on the show, and when's Bryan coming on? I'm gonna have to schedule them.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait. All I'm seeing on Twitter is a bunch of people arguing over some text messages between DM and Maddie.
Hey, the last time I got into this many
Sorry,
arguments about text messages, it was my ex-wife. You know what I mean?
There are people.
Well, there's
people
some Karen Reed
really
stuff
angry.
that happened too. Karen Reed's in federal court right now. You don't care about Karen Reed? I do.
Okay, well,
That's
here's the thing. It's not that I don't care about Karen Reed. I'm just so... I stay so far away from that case because it's so toxic. Like, the whole space is so... Oh, people are so mean to one another.
It's all the stuff outside of the courtroom that I don't get into. But the legal arguments from the case itself, I find very interesting and very troubling.
It's what, the habeas issue?
Yeah. So they filed a habeas petition, which I don't think is going to go far, but it's an interesting argument. No, I think it's
for double jeopardy.
Yeah, because they don't have an actual verdict. If they had an acquittal verdict on those first two charges, then obviously the defense would be in a much better standing for double jeopardy. But they never got the verdict, so.
Can we?
Yeah, it shows you how ridiculous the judge is, really.
Monday says, "Can we talk about if B Patty even called phone company? Do we know? I don't know what you're talking about, Monday." So.
Me either.
Dave, do you know what that means?
Yeah, I think they're talking about Becky Patty. If they called the phone
Yep.
company to see if they pinged the phone in Delphi.
Okay. Did they even call the phone company to see if they even pinged the phone?
I don't know. One of the cranks can take care of that in the chat. I'm not sure about that one.
Okay.
Ange,
that's
do you
fine.
know?
Okay.
I have
that's
no
cool.
idea. I probably know the least about like the phone. Find my phone. I don't know. I probably know the least of that out of like everything. So I'm not the one to ask. I have no idea.
Well, they definitely
Like
pinged
finding
the
my phone.
No,
Right.
like the actually not Find My iPhone, but the actual phone company doing like a range to tower ping on the phone to get the location of it. It was done, but I think this person that's asking is did the grandma even call to see before, like what actions did they actually take? So
Yeah. See,
I know
I mean,
nothing about Delphi. I can't
you
comment.
do. You do. You were here for the Nick McClellan stream.
Well, I know, but I haven't been keeping up on it, and I haven't done any streams on it. I haven't like deep dive into it. I
Well,
know there was some issues with the photographs, and
yeah.
again, it's a perfect example of why you don't ever talk to the police.
Well, okay, because he did call to help, right? Like he said, oh, I was there, and he, was calling to answer the if he called in those three, like he called, I think, 3 days after the event, and he called the tip line, and he gave the tip. He said I was there, and this is what I saw, whatever, and supposedly that's putting himself at the crime scene. So he put himself there, right?
Correct.
So do we ever call a tip line ever? No, basically. So the idea is you just don't, because you could end up in prison being tortured, and then you end up being Rick Allen, basically, because you put yourself there.
Yeah,
Put yourself there.
I mean, that's the biggest issue. When you start charging people, when the only evidence you really have is something that they said when they were calling a tip line. When BLM first started and everybody was saying, that the police are overly policing and charging black folks and things like that. And there's this whole thing about where those communities, they don't call the police for help. They'd rather go, to their neighbors and friends and stuff for help instead of the police. This is why, people. This is the stuff they were talking about. It doesn't just happen to that community, though. It happens to everybody. But this is exactly why, because the police are not your friends.
So I haven't seen the defense's response to Nick's explanation to the letters,
It's wild.
to Reese Davis letters. Who's got it? Someone got it.
pull it up, Dolly. Come on, dude.
It's crazy.
Someone
crazy.
whip it out. Could someone whip it out?
It's probably one of my favorite Andy Baldwin motions ever. It's like people are calling it Frank's 2.0. I like it because he basically calls out what we've all been ranting about forever, which is like it's like, this is not normal. It's kind of like he said that like 12 times throughout the motion. Like this, like he all of the things that he did, withholding exculpatory evidence, all of the unethical things, all the times he lied, he kind of just like listed them all and went through all of them and was like this is not normal. Like the behavior of the prosecutor is not normal. He's never once had to
What is that?
There it is, folks.
That's Nick McCletus.
That's a Coors Light.
Ooh. I kind of thought he'd be a Bud Light man, but okay.
Yeah. It's good though, Hella. It's really good.
I'm trying to find it.
So can we? Yeah. It can't be far away. Who's can?
Well, I'm kind of perusing Discord and.
What's Discord?
I wonder if there's an attorney in the chat that actually helped with the motion.
I wonder.
Nice.
I wonder if Dave, who's generally got everything at his fingertips, could message it to me.
Yeah, I can do that.
That would be great. Thank you.
Do you have it?
He does.
Is Shark's asshole watertight?
Yes.
Future Mrs. 2.0. It's in the chat. I just see.
Is Future Mrs. 2.0 here?
Yeah, she just shot you a super chat.
Oh my
Well, not
god!
just a while ago, like
And
an hour
she
ago. She gave you
gifted
some.
20. What? Did she give
Yeah,
20
20?
Yes.
excited utterance memberships? Oh my god.
Wait, did I get one?
Oh my god. Thank you so much. Thank
So
you so
generous.
much, Dina. I love you so much. Oh, wow. Thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, my memberships have gone down last week or so. I haven't been streaming. I
You're
really
right.
appreciate that. And speaking of, look at this, who we've got
Hey.
here. Hey.
Hi, Hal. How you doing?
I'm good. I missed you, mate.
Glad
How
you
are
didn't.
ya?
Glad the what do you guys call them? Typhoons or cyclones down there?
Cyclone.
Yeah.
Glorified hurricane.
Glorified hurricane.
Well,
Wish
no,
.com
we're having
It
the
was just a windy couple of days, and they get
Yeah.
all excited about it.
yeah.
No.
Well, we're having a rough day too.
Yeah,
I
you guys
Daylight savings day. So
Aw.
yeah,
It's all.
I don't know
that's
what
right.
that's
I woke
like.
up at 10:30 and freaked out.
yeah.
Oh no, it's a bad day. You're an hour out of whack.
I woke
Mhm.
up at
Terrible.
6 and it was still 6, so
Mhm.
And
Suffer.
FMM says, just messaged you on X. I heard you were in a storm. I'm so late to the party. I love you. I hope everyone's well. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Also, you're so generous. Love you too, Dina. Hope you're having a good
You
day.
know what? Debs in space. It is time theft. You know what? I want to sue the government for time theft.
it's a
See how far I
conspiracy.
get with that.
So we're just about to have a look at the so
I
Amy
can't find
Baldwin's.
Dolly's. I put it in the Hella Streams 1 Discord, I believe.
Oh, you put it actually in the
Oh,
Discord. Okay.
Look
hang
at
on.
you.
Oh, look at you. Check you out.
Do I need to join
Yeah.
Discord again?
I don't
Well, you
know.
do have a
man.
server, so
You,
It's not
you do
mine.
have your own
It
Discord.
just has my name on it.
Okay, so we're about to have a look at.
wait, where did you put it?
Gee, me. All right.
Wait, what's
So
your
we're
name
about
on
to have a-
Discord?
Sal, I think.
God, I feel like Allie and Bob right now.
Just
But
going
yeah, Sal.
great.
Okay.
So not that. We're going to look at that instead. All right.
Sal, yeah.
How can I?
Okay, I
change
just tagged you.
Sweet. Oh, now how do I get notifications?
I'm gonna DM you. And anything other types of communications you think? Nah, I just DM'd it to you. You know what?
Hey.
While I'm here, I'm gonna add you as
You
a friend.
two.
No, hold on.
You
I have it.
two
I think you
buddying
sent
up
the wrong
over
one,
there.
Goose.
Oh, I got it. I found it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, got
Wait,
it.
Were
got
you
it,
looking
got
for
it.
the defense's response? You were looking for
Yeah,
Andy's
the most-
response.
I
Yeah.
was looking for it, but I guess I linked the wrong thing, didn't I?
Oh dear. Oh dear. We're having all sorts of troubles here.
Okay.
Sorry, chat. That's not
Yeah,
it. See,
what's
Cat's
the
like,
question?
that's not it.
I tried to tell him, but
This is Nick's
Yeah,
motion to
hit it with your-
gaslight.
Again. Yep. More
It is
spaghetti.
interesting though.
oh, thank you.
Mm.
What would I do without you?
Can we talk more? Can we talk more about how I do a wee in the course lab? All right, because I haven't seen the response. That's all. So I would really like to see the response.
Oh, it's in the wrong browser.
All right, so
I
what
just
is
put
this
it in
motion?
private
Now, this
chat.
Is
I don't know if
this
that's.
is a,
Okay,
got it.
thank you.
this is a
You got
post-judgment
it?
motion to preserve evidence. What's the evidence?
Okay, so the evidence is some letters from a guy called Reese Davis, and Reese Davis is a prisoner in which particular
He's somewhere in Indiana.
facility was he in?
Newcastle.
This
Yeah.
is Ricky, not Reese.
It's Reese.
Is Reese?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. I know I had to get that right. Yeah, so anyway, Reese has been in contact with Keegan Klein, and also back years ago, he was in contact with the man who owned the land where the two girls were found. So that's Ron Logan. And he supposedly has written 8 letters to Nick McClelland, the prosecutor, and those 8 letters never got handed over to the defense. There's also apparently an interview that was done as well, and that's supposedly gotten lost. So we're talking severe, like, Brady violation territory if this is true. Now, Nick McClelland came back and said it took a week, but he came back and he said, well, actually, we've only got records of 3 letters being sent to me, and we can only find 2, and here's the 2.
You call that self-snitching.
Yeah, here's the 2. And those 2, they're not exculpatory anyway, because they talk about Richard Allen actually being involved. And so, you know, not consequential, not material, blah, blah, blah. And so lots of reasons why that's bullshit. You really should have handed them over, Nick. But now we're going to have a look at what Mr. Baldwin has to say in response, because I haven't seen this at all.
So, Hella, I put the right one in the private chat. This is the
Okay.
state's response, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Share that instead. Okay, thank you, yeah. Okay. Am I looking at the right thing now? Richard Allen's verified reply, yes.
Whatever, dude.
Cool. All right. So, what's the best bit? Should I just go through it, or it's pretty long, right?
So wait, so whose reply is this? Is it the state's
This
reply?
is Richard Allen. This is Richard Allen's reply. So did Baldwin write this?
He did, yeah. He lays it out pretty well in the headings, but
Yeah.
basically he goes through like each separate instance of the prosecutor withholding discovery, the prosecutor saying he doesn't have something, and then finding something.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay, so Richard Allen's verified reply memorandum to state of Indiana's response to preserve and produce and request for sanctions. The prosecution's response to provide proof. In his response, the prosecutor glosses over the fact that he was in possession of letters that he failed to turn over to defense before trial, even though in a February 13, 2025 email, he denied possessing such letters. McClelland also...
In
He
his
didn't
defense,
do it intentionally. He was mistaken.
in McClelland's defense, his boyfriend always says he can't find anything in the refrigerator either.
McClelland also has no explanation as to why a letter from Davis from October 15, 2024 is missing and cannot be found. Instead, the prosecution spends the majority of his response denigrating defense counsel. This is good.
It's like
Prosecutor
when you what do you say, Sean? When the facts are on your side, you pound the facts. When the law's on your side, you pound the law. And when neither's on your side, you pound the table.
Yes.
When you're attacking opposing counsel, you don't have either. You're pounding the table, right?
Well, I mean, it's sometimes, but if they are actually lying or they are misleading, great. But
That's
in this situation, he's just going like, Judge, look, they're bad guys. And Judge Gold's going to go, oh, they are bad guys. Denied.
She's not even going to say that. She's going to go, denied.
So he
Yes.
is requesting sanctions in this as well, like specific ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, is he?
Everyone always asks for that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Tell me about it.
That's like the chest thump in the legal world when you
Yeah,
ask for
Ange.
sanctions in your motion.
What's this, Michael? All I can say is Andy's learning. Okay, well. Prosecutor McClelland is not the arbiter of exculpatory evidence or whether he has an obligation to turn it over. The law is the arbiter. Yes, that's true. Exculpatory evidence is defined as evidence tending to establish a criminal defendant's innocence. State versus Durrett. Okay. Carroll County local rule. Okay, so actually, Michael, I remember you referring to this local rule, not merely chest thumping, yes. Also requires McClelland to turn over exculpatory evidence based upon his February 28, 2025 filing. We now know that the state of Indiana has had certain letters in its possession in October 2024, but failed to turn those letters over to defense until February 28, 2025. Boom.
Was that wrong?
Prosecution. Oh, shit, is that wrong?
Gotta plead ignorance on this one.
Well, yeah, I gotta say. Prosecution only produced
Wait, when
those
was he
letters.
convicted?
November?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's kind of bad.
It's kind of bad. It's kind of bad. Prosecution only produced those letters after the defense sought those letters, being forced to file a motion to produce those letters after the prosecution failed to admit being in possession of those letters. This is looking bad.
Well, he's just looking out for the defense. Because,
Oh,
they
yeah,
also said
well,
he did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, he didn't want to give the letters over because it made Richard look even worse, didn't it? You
Yeah.
know, like,
Well, two of the three did.
Well, this behavior of the state is consistent with a pattern of behavior that has greatly impacted the defense and Richard Allen's constitutional rights throughout the entirety of the case and will be recounted later in this memorandum. A pattern of withholding exculpatory evidence may lead to a reversal and new trial. Prewitt versus State. This case illustrates what happens when the state engages in a pattern of withholding exculpatory and material evidence from defendants. Okay, so
It's amazing how often the state doesn't turn over evidence, right? It's shockingly frequent. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just turn it over. It's really easy. Turn over everything that you have. Any piece of little information that you have, then this is never an issue, right? You get a conviction, there's never an issue with whether or not you committed a Brady violation. Just turn the shit over.
well, now this bit here. So the defense's theory was that evidence strongly supported that multiple people were involved in the abduction and murder of the victims. The defense theories were detailed in the defense's opening statement and throughout trial or in offers to prove from August 1, 2024. The state's theory was that in some order the following events occurred: the killer acting alone after running briskly or walking across a bridge to catch up to the girls. Okay, so here's the thing, right? The state's theory is all about Richard Allen acting alone, whereas the two letters that were finally released just recently in response to this motion talked about Richard Allen being part of a group. Now, Reese Davis heard this from Keegan Kline, right? So Keegan Kline is a terrible child predator who was baiting the girls, or one of the girls, on the phone. And so it's always been weird that this Keegan Kline person wasn't involved in some way in these murders, because he was talking to one of them and about being on the bridge that day. He was one of the last people to text Libby. So that being the case, he is feeding this information to this guy, Reese Davis, who, I mean, it's fair enough for people to sort of question whether or not Reese Davis is that credible. He's a prison snitch. But the thing is that if he's just receiving this information from somebody else, A, where's he going to get it from other than that person? And B, if they're saying that Richard Allen's involved, how's he to know any different? But it's about three people being involved, whereas the state's theory is that it's one person, and that's what they went to trial with. So that's a completely different story than what they went to trial with, right? So state's going to trial with one person being their theory, and this is a whole other theory.
So yes, it's an entire different theory than if we identify Bridge Guy, we've identified the murderers. Because normally, if you know who there's other murderers, you could say, we're not worried about them today. We're trying this guy for his involvement. But you would show that. They didn't even remember. They said there's nobody else involved. It's only Richard Allen.
Yeah. So they should have a duty. I mean, there's no way around it.
Well, and also, though, I would say, though, remember when the ISP was up there talking about, mean internet people, that they hadn't officially quit the case wasn't officially closed.
I do remember that.
So it's like, yeah. Talk
about inconsistent theories. Now, is it with the state of the law as it is, in theory, I don't know how Indiana actually works, but in Michigan, we could have a situation where they actually bring charges against somebody else for the same unaliving and be like, well, we never said it wasn't possible that it was somebody else, or that multiple people did it. And that's the problem with not producing all the information and not crafting the correct theory from the beginning.
Yeah, okay. So, and oh God, he's going right into it. He said, walking casually. So, anyway, the state's theory was that in some order, the following events occurred. The killer acting alone after running or briskly walking across a bridge to catch up to the girls, since he was not seeing it in the 207 photograph anywhere on the bridge, was seen on video walking casually and not panting like a 45-year-old man who had run across the bridge.
Yeah, what was the time the time between the two photographs? Wasn't it like a few seconds or something?
Like about 4 or 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was 4 or 5 minutes. Sorry. Never mind.
Then
Imagine
abducted.
someone. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
go.
No, you're good.
I'll go. Imagine somebody telling on you for admitting to doing a brisk walk.
Yeah.
Oops.
How embarrassing.
And then abducted the two victims, slid down a steep hill with those victims. Then, in a panic, after observing a van, corralled those victims across an active creek while holding a gun, and then both victims somehow were undressed, but the younger victim was later redressed in the pants bra and sweatshirt of the older victim, and then the lone panicked killer murdered one victim and then murdered the other victim without anyone hearing any screams, in spite of sound traveling very well throughout that area all the way to the bridge. Then the lone panic killer moved the older victim from one area to another area next to the tree without any drag marks, indicating that he carried her from one place to another. Yep. All that activity, according to the state's theory, occurred in a 19-minute time frame between 2:13 and 2:32 p.m. when the older victim's phone stopped moving, having been placed under a shoe under the younger victim's body. After the murders, the state's theory was that this panic killer then took time to place sticks on top of the victims' bodies. This is so stupid. In particular patterns as depicted in photos admitted at trial, and then, in spite of his panic, hung around the crime scene for over an hour before exiting the crime scene northward near a cemetery, before this panic killer chose to walk westbound towards his vehicle at 300N in a bloody outfit, knowing that he would be in full view of any vehicles traveling that road after having killed the victims an hour and a half earlier. The state's theory was not that multiple men and women were involved in the crimes, but one man alone committed all these crimes and did so on the afternoon of February 13, 2017. Reese Davis' letters provide exculpatory information that supports the defense theory and negates the state's theory, and also provides other information that the defense could have utilized for trial or to support its request for third-party suspect evidence to be admitted into evidence. Well, there you go. And if we remember, they weren't allowed any third-party suspect evidence at all. Zero.
Yeah, which I don't get that either. That's like with Wisconsin, what they have. I can't remember the name of the Denny rule. It's so dumb. If the defendant wants to walk in there and say that space aliens came down and did it, let them. You should let the jury's not going to believe them. Just let them say it, right? Why do we have to have this ridiculous rule? I think it actually violates the Constitution. The Supreme Court has said so, yet apparently Wisconsin and Indiana didn't get the message.
You're right. It really does illustrate how stupid the state's theory is, and I'm sure that's exactly why Andy has worded it this way, grey space. Okay, so guys, I want to just for a second talk about something. So this is really bothering me in regard to a few different cases. So I'm seeing it happen with Kohberger as well now. The state is trying to stop any third-party information coming in at all, right? So in Kohberger, what they're doing is they're trying to stop the information about, or the evidence about, the other DNA profiles that weren't investigated coming into trial. right? So here we have Richard Allen, who has been found guilty, and no third-party evidence was allowed in. We had Zachariah Anderson found guilty, no third-party evidence was allowed in. And now we have Bryan Kohberger, and there are other DNA profiles in that house. There's blood in that house from unknown males, even on the sheet.
But what you don't understand is it's going to be too confusing for the jury. They're going to think that it's possible that someone else did it. See, that's the problem, excited.
Can't have that.
I'm going to confuse the issue of this guy.
How is this okay?
Convicted.
It shouldn't be, and I don't know. I really don't know, because there's been Supreme Court precedents on this, and I'm not sure why states have not adopted it. I mean, the Supreme Court of the United States has spelled out what people's constitutional rights are regarding this.
Yes.
You know, and it's baffling to me how states still do these things and allow these things to happen. Somebody in your chat said it's not a stupid rule, it's stupid how it's being applied. It shouldn't be applied in any way, shape, or form, because the Supreme Court has said, too bad, you can't.
Yeah.
You have to allow defendants to bring their defenses.
Yes. And yeah, this allows them to say, well, you're saying other people were there. How do you sure it wasn't just them?
Yeah.
You know, if there's other people involved, you're allowed to say, well, are you sure it wasn't these guys? You think you know they're there. No, and this is a problem, and this prosecutors do this, and they'll hide the ball, and they'll get cute with it, and I think this is, it's not an issue of them being to present, it denies them the ability to present something, but the state knows of information, and they suppressed it ultimately. The idea, though, especially, like, if they thought this wasn't such a big deal, why didn't they disclose it, I guess?
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around this whole concept of not telling the jury that there were potentially other people just there at the.
Well, there's there's another new motion too that just came out in that case. It's a little bit young, if you will, because it hasn't been covered much because of these text messages dominating everything. But basically, what it is, they're asking for a sanction to remove the death penalty. Because of the size and manner in which the discovery was handled, because
are you talking about another? Are you talking about Bryan Kohberger?
No,
Bryan Kohberger.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure because I'm like, wait, where the death?
That's all right.
Hey, they're gonna kill him. They're gonna,
No, I know. I thought we were kind of going through for Richard Allen.
That's all right. We're jumping around a bit.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So that case there, she argued that the 68 terabytes, that not only did they not turn over Brady stuff before, but they actually hid it in a degree that would make it impossible for any exculpatory information to be found, because they didn't provide any reports with the discovery. It wasn't Bates stamped, and it's not, there's no data files that index it. And there's actually a case in Idaho, a death penalty case, where they took off the death penalty because of the discovery being such a mess that no one would be able to find all the exculpatory information, because the state didn't actually give them a Brady material list.
Really?
They did that with
That's an Idaho case?
Yeah.
No, they did that.
Daybell?
They did that with what's her name that was convicted of killing kids.
Lori.
Yeah, Vallow. Yep.
Yeah, it's actually a different case. It wasn't the Lori Vallow case that they cited, but that case too.
I mean, I think there's an easy way around it if there's 68. You said terabytes or gigabytes? Because either way,
terabytes.
Yeah, 68 terabytes of data. I think they're, I think they're gonna have a great, like, we don't even know everything that's on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not gonna.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, like that's because they might even say we didn't bother going through it. We got all the bodies. They might say whatever reason. And given the way the court's down there, as much as people, it looks like by changing venue they got a worse judge. I don't know if that's going to affect. I mean, given how he's ruling everything else, but I'm not even sure I would like if there's an obligation to provide it, I guess. But if you don't know what's not there, that's a hell of an argument. So they don't really have to. I mean, like, and maybe Idaho does require it, but I've never heard of them having to organize and curate it for you. Because they
Well,
can
they
say,
didn't
"Look,
provide a
the
grading
organization
material
and
or
the-
label anything. So the amount of time that they have, and the judge is not letting them push the time back, that he's already given up his speedy trial rights. And the attorney says, I can't be ineffective. I have to try to actually.
No, that's
do
a separate
something.
argument. I need more time to go through it all. And I've had that issue before.
But they're not letting them go through any more of it.
And that's fine. That's
for
the
the
argument
sanction.
you make. That's the argument you make, because saying they didn't tell us what's in here, well, they might not even know, but the argument
It
is
was the
I
same
can't have
issue
time.
with Sarah Boone too when
Yeah.
her attorney jumped in at the end. You know, he was like, "Here's 4 file boxes full of discovery," and he's like, "Judge, I need more time." The judge said, "No, you don't have any more time."
But the judge had also warned him ahead of time, like, if you jump in, we're going.
He did.
And that was I think Sarah Boone she kind of poisoned the well there because of the way she had acted as judge. Absent her, even if she was dying in the hospital room, he would have wheeled her in with a nurse.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted a trial, we're giving you a trial.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Vincent, 2009, absolutely. We're up to now 22 supplemental requests for discovery and 6 motions to compel by the defense.
The other issue with the Idaho courts is that they're sealing everything so that the public doesn't get access to it. All this information that's being filed, the motions, all this stuff is being sealed. I don't think that's proper either. We don't have secret courts. All this stuff should be public, and that's a whole other discussion.
Well, this judge has just made a ruling just now saying that he thinks that both parties are filing too much stuff under seal, and it's like, well, okay, that's been the rules up until now, so don't blame them. Like, there's a non-dissemination order for one thing, and the previous judge, that was his rules. So they've only been with this judge for 6 months, and he's pretty strict. So they haven't been wanting to push their luck too much. So they've been filing things under seal because that's been the practice with this case up till now.
With the prior
he's
judge,
come along.
right?
Yeah. So they had change of venue. Last year.
One of my biggest issues with that was, I was talking about it last night, was the timeline on that case and some of the DNA stuff. And apparently, supposedly, the rumor is that there's more evidence out there, and there might be, but because everything's filed under seal, we don't see it. So,
I have thoughts on that. Like Andrea has said that it's just if there's really like some bombshell evidence from the state, we would know about it. Like, there's so many like opportunities for that stuff to come out. Like, both sides are really good at giving hints in the public hearings and in the documents when there's something of note. And also, there are people that are giving interviews to the media, for example, and things are dropped. Whenever there's something good, things are dropped. Now, have you seen anything inculpatory about Bryan Kohberger since the beginning? Anything new come out against him since the beginning? No, there's been nothing.
The only thing that came out like last year was his cell phone stuff when they were all filing motions about that. That's the only thing that really was new that came out. His when they were arguing over his alibi, which is basically he was by himself in the middle of the desert doing whatever, which was a non-alibi alibi.
Well, that was actually exculpatory because he's 40 miles to the west.
Well, I know, but then the state came back and was filing stuff, in response to that, and so when they were arguing back and forth, that's the only new information that I gathered. But since then, no information at all.
It was made to sound like it was a non-alibi, but the thing about it was that at that time, that was when Cy Ray came on board, and DB will say something about Cy Ray in a minute. But that was when their expert came on board and said, look, either you guys hand over the cast data, so the FBI work, the work that was done to show where the phone was at this point in time, because they say that the phone stopped responding to the cellular network between 2 and 4 a.m., or what my data shows, because he's sort of pretty good at making cell maps himself. He wrote the software for it, and he trains the FBI and the police on it himself. What my data shows is that phone was 40 miles to the west in a really thin coverage area, which is Hawaii Park. So what I'm seeing at the moment is exculpatory. If you show me something else, I'll change my testimony. But that's what
I mean, I agree with you that it is. I was just saying that the state's response was the only new information. They talked about cell phone data and things like that. That was the only new information that we gathered since the arrest. Everything else has been secretive. That's all. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Fingernail DNA. I don't know what.
Oh, okay. So this fingernail DNA thing. Guys, talk to me. What's that all about?
I don't know.
It's all you, Deebs. This is for you.
3-person.
So I guess the testimony was first in the state grand jury that the state presented that there was this multiple DNA found under the fingernails of Madison Mogan, and they tested it, and they were basically not able to exclude anybody because it wasn't developed really enough to use to exclude people. But the state actually said that they presented it because it was exculpatory to Bryan, because it shows that there could have been other perpetrators. And I guess in the footnote of one of the filings about it, the defense says that they have an independent lab that verified and excluded him as a contributor to the DNA under her fingernails. So that leaves, I think, a mixture of at least 2 males and possibly a female, they think, that contributed to the DNA under her nails.
I heard something on the periphery. I didn't read it about the surviving roommate, and she had some text messages that came out. I did want to say that I did hear about, but I don't know. That woman was always sus to me because there was something weird about that.
People are so angry about all that.
Did anything major come up with that, or like what was it?
They were just texting all night, or not all night. But
well, I don't know. Like, you did a stream on it, didn't you, Ange?
So I read them for the first time on a stream the other night, and I got a lot of fucking questions. I understand less now than I did before. I feel like there's got to be. It just doesn't make any sense. There's just a lot of things that don't make sense. The 911 call doesn't make sense. None of it makes any sense. So either there's like missing context and missing
bushy
messages.
eyebrows, right? She's the one that saw the big bushy eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's her. Yeah.
Well, and she's also given like several statements that at no point was she able to, even when she looked up Bryan Kohberger's booking photo, she was not able to identify him as the person she saw. Like she has no idea who she saw. She was, I mean, objectively, she was hammered. So that's a problem, you know, but I mean, aside from that, there's just like, none of it makes any sense at all. They should not have used her. She's not a reliable witness because she was inebriated, and that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but so find other evidence. But they padded their PCA with a bunch of bullshit, and her statements are not at all. I mean, it's not even what she said. I mean, we see that all the time in PCAs, but I was just like horrified when I realized how like altered and chopped and skewed up like everything that she said, like just how they presented it. It's just slimy.
Something was always weird because she came face to face with somebody who was completely fine with killing 4 people, and yet somehow she survives. And then her like the bushy eyebrow thing doesn't make sense. The fact that she was, you know, her timeline doesn't make sense, and then she just disappeared. None of that made sense at all.
Yeah,
well, and then they waited. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Deebs.
I was just saying he probably had shit to do, you know.
Right. With his he's vacuuming and like, yeah. Well, but okay, so
vacuuming.
Okay,
if you don't get that, she thought she saw him holding a vacuum cleaner in one.
As one
He's a
does.
busybody.
Oh,
Well,
That's nice of him. He was vacuuming the house for them.
sure, yeah.
He's a
Well, it just
respectful
doesn't-
serial killer.
And then the 911 call, that's really what I have a that
do we have
is
it?
very
Where is it?
yeah.
Who's got it? Do you have it?
I have a
David.
transcript of it.
Somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you have it?
Yeah, but Deebs, you've corrected all the misspellings, didn't you?
Yeah, I assumed what
What
they
is that,
actually
really?
meant in favor of
I
Bryan
know.
Kohberger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I see. You did a tweak here.
Did
I have
you
this.
do a deep?
I just feel like the
DW Raptor. Five subs. Thank
Very
you,
nice.
DW Raptor. Very nice. Very nice, eh?
Hopefully, Koffendorfer will share my new bait with
Oh,
her
Jesus.
about Dylan Mortensen's text messages.
Oh, what have you done? Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, DB is the king of felting Jennifer Koffendorfer.
Sexually.
Yeah, after our lurid affair, I trolled her online.
Mm.
I would
Who's the
just
most
die
credible
if she
person out
fell
there
for it
on it?
again.
Hella, I put them both in the private chat. The second one is
thank
the
you so
911.
much.
Yeah, no, the second one is the text. Oh, they're labeled.
Okay,
or titled,
Belinda.
so.
David,
Okay.
did you need to?
Yeah, I gotta jump off.
Okay.
I've got to go take care of the wife, do some husbandly
I'll say.
duties.
Do
But
husbandly duties. Thank you so
Free
much for
Jennifer
joining us.
Crumbley, Stacy, or Shannon Smith hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, all right.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to get Shannon Smith for an interview. That would be amazing. We'll see.
That would be good.
We'll see
My
how that
type.
happens. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Is she?
Oh.
All right. Redhead. All right. See you guys.
Bye, David.
Bye.
All right. So what have we got here? Share this tab, and okay, is this it? Why is it not coming up? Hello.
It's right there.
That's Reese
that's not it.
Davis. That's
That's not
Megan
it. That's the
Spatter.
wrong one.
What are you looking for?
Oh, hang on. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Yay. Okay. I forget how to do this. I haven't done this in a few days. All right. So,
Dolly, you're gonna
What
get
do
this
we
demonetized, dude.
What?
what's he doing?
A little too hard at the cat over there.
Well, I'm just.
Nah,
scratching his
they
ears.
look fine. You're right. You know what? The cat looks happy. We're all good.
Yeah.
Like those cats are so happy. They have the best life.
Hey, what do they call 911 in Australia? Huh? What do they? What do you? What do you got to do?
It's
What's-
000.
Oh.
Yes, it's actually really easy to remember. 000.
Then how do you know? Like, do you?
It's like
press
when you're
zero?
it's when you're in an emergency, you go, oh,
Yeah.
With my batting average in T-ball. They're great.
There we go. Oh, and then we go, no.
yeah. It's the first part of Arnar.
Oh no.
They can't say
no.
it. They can't say it in Australia either. Ow, ow, ow.
Oh hell, I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
Before the hurricane came through, how did you feel about the Chinese Navy floating by?
Oh fucking, hang on. Chinese Navy.
Yeah, the Chinese Navy sailed down the west coast of or the east coast of Australia and did
They
like live
seeded the
fire
cyclone.
exercises off the coast as a big
Oh,
as their point
they
to
do
say you belong to us now.
They do that sometimes.
Well, and this was a
Oh.
big one though.
Yeah. Look, we don't get much media about it. Like we're not really.
You need to hell, let's say after me. I can't wait till Bluey's in Mandarin. Ni hao.
I know. Like honestly, I didn't know about this. My brother told me. He keeps up to date with this stuff, but it's not something that gets publicized. We are very sort of sheltered.
Yeah, because it's not very
From-
good. It's not a very good thing.
It's not
but,
it's not
No.
a great thing. No, it's not something that makes you feel very comfortable.
But I don't think
So-
you're getting our subs after all.
No. But yeah, in a moment I'll show you a little bit of what happened to our coastline. But it wasn't to do with the Chinese. was to do with a
Chinese.
giant big cyclone. Anyway, so apparently I'm in this somewhere. Where is it? Where's the excited utterances? Where is it? Hearsay, cumulative, relative.
So this is if you keep scrolling, there's a transcript of of the actual 911 call itself.
Statements made on 911 call.
Which it makes no sense.
Okay.
I think it's as an exhibit they included it.
Oh, okay, sweet. Okay, so Q dispatch, Q1 man.
Look how
Q2
many people
woman.
are listed in one 911 call.
Who are these people?
Chaos. Fuck if I know.
Okay.
I don't even think they know.
So
Goddamn
and
party there.
that's interesting though, because I mean, there's the whole. I've heard the allegations of people were in and out of the house before 911 was called. It's like, why is it a party line? It's like those. God, some of you are gonna be too young for this, but like, they'd have the late night things on TV where it's like, just call and we talk and hang out, and it's like the bunch of like supermodel looking women saying like, we're always waiting to talk. It's like, what the hell was everybody doing on the phone?
And why?
Wait,
and
they're not
we'll just
supermodels?
look at what they say.
Sorry.
And what? Well, I'll just let you read it. It's crazy.
Okay, so J Rock says Hella replaced Dali with Ange, and AG Biochemist says I approve of J Rock's motion.
No.
Fine.
No.
Bye. You too. Okay, so I'll be the 911 operator. Who wants to be A?
I'll be A.
Okay. 911, location of your emergency.
Hi, something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what. We have.
What is the address of the emergency?
I think more sass needs to be on the 911 responder.
Okay.
A lot more sass.
All right. Jeez.
What is the address of the emergency?
Okay.
I'm really annoyed with
All
them.
right, fine. You can be the
Okay.
goddamn 911
Yeah,
operator.
you do
I'll be
it,
someone
Dali.
else
You're the
later.
911
Okay.
operator.
I'll be A1.
A1, there you go.
Okay. 911, location of your emergency.
Hi, something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what. We have.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122. No, don't.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Okay. And is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? God.
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the right, so we're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address? The address is 1122 King Road.
Dispatch. Okay. And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
What's the rest?
What's the rest? That's my part, Dolly.
God.
Excuse me, DB.
You're gonna do that. You have to use this part.
Nice.
Okay. And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates who's passed out and she was drunk, and last night she's not waking up.
What?
What?
Sorry.
Okay.
Wait. So I thought it sounded like, if you scroll back up, are these the neighbors A1? Because they say like we're next door.
Yes. It's supposed to be the male neighbor, I think, is A1, and then A is Dylan Mortensen or Bethany Funk.
Yeah. So they're calling one of the roommates who's passed out. She was drunk. It's like, okay, I haven't seen this yet. So is he saying he thought it was, oh, she's passed? No, she's dead. Like,
Right. Yeah. Like,
No, he doesn't say that though.
well, yeah. So he just thinks they're passed out. It's like that. Yeah, she passed out. She had too many knife cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Some
no sense.
Kool-Aid and vodka. Threw up all over herself. It's a lot of red.
It's a tomato sauce party.
Yeah.
Ketchup, sorry. That's what you guys say.
Even I never drank that much.
What's going on? Okay, so who's A?
Angela's in.
My bad.
You're
Oh,
A.
I'm back. No, we saw.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah.
Okay, so context clues is telling me that A is either Dylan or Bethany, right?
Yep.
We saw. Okay, sorry, I
Okay.
just got that.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. And are you with the patient? White people. I need someone to keep the phone. Stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
Interesting.
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay. I need to know what's going on right now. If someone is passed out, can you find that out?
So she thinks somebody is passed out, but she starts telling the story about 4 a.m.
What?
Why are they saying passed out? Why are they saying Okay, yeah, I'll come. Come on, we gotta go check, but we have to. Is she passed out? She's passed out. What's wrong?
Dispatching Moscow Law Ambulance 4.
She's not waking up.
What the fuck is a law ambulance? Is that what Sean does?
The law
Maybe a
ambulance
law
takes me to
train.
the law clinic. Legal clinic.
Oh, okay.
Unconsciousness 1122 King Road. 70 is en route.
Oh, that's a different person, right?
Yeah.
So who would say 70 is en route? So it must be the call. It must be somebody over the dispatch line.
Oh, okay. 70 is en route.
Okay. One moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, maybe.
1122 King Road. All ambulance respond for unconsciousness. 1122 King Road.
Unconsciousness.
All ambulances?
Unconsciousness?
I copy.
58.
Consciousness.
Multiple RPs on the phone advise saying the roommate on scene is passed out and not waking up. Believe she got drunk last night and about a male being in the room with them and something about White Claws.
What the fuck? Like, what's that got to do with
What's going on?
So,
Like I said, what it like?
No, totally, I agree.
I'm like, what is going on here?
I mean, she technically is unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got that right.
Right.
but okay, so but even if you're a dispatch, like I feel like this is not the whole call, because if you're a dispatcher, you're gonna ask you're gonna ask, have you tried to do, like, you're gonna ask about like life-saving measures. You're gonna ask if they're like none of this feels like it's the full call. They didn't ask any.
I mean, they
No.
would denote if there's parts missing, but just remember,
They'd have to.
a lot of people suck at their jobs.
Well, the prosecutor would have to. What you're saying is like they have to put the completeness of the record, right? Or
if there's a reason why stuff is removed, you would indicate why stuff is removed. Or in this case, like they already did, they could redact things for special purposes. You wouldn't just leave out half a call like this. But we'll see if there's more. I haven't read this yet, so maybe there's more.
Yeah. Okay, where were we up
Okay, so
to?
Q here.
Like, you know how they did though? Maybe Brian, maybe she was already passed out. And Bryan Kohberger was, it's kind of like when people are passed out, you can rub their chest or you pinch them or something. Brian's like, here, I'll find out if she's sleeping or not and faking it. I'll stab her. She didn't wake up. I guess she was sleeping.
Well, you first tried like the warm glass of water, thing of water, but that didn't work.
No.
Okay, so Q, the one I copy about, 20-year-old female, unconscious, trying to get further. So this is an officer on the scene?
Isn't cute, Dolly?
Yeah.
Dolly,
Copy.
hello.
Oh, that one I copy about 20-year-old female unconscious trying to get further.
Copy.
A2?
Yeah, it's Evan.
Okay.
Hang on. Who's A2? Who the hell is A2?
There's like 6 different people that. So can you imagine the dispatcher was getting pissed? I can just see her. She's like, "Can you stop fucking passing the phone around and like let me talk to one person, please?" Like, and these are. And I keep saying to everybody like, "Oh, they're kids. They're kids." I've had to call 20. I've called 911 before, and I was younger than 20, and I knew how to talk to. Like, this is just like this is insanity. Like, what are they doing? Like, I'd be pissed too. It's weird.
Yeah, I live in Mesa, Arizona. I call them frequently about gunshots near me. You answer their questions.
I doubt. Snitch.
Well, when you have to run and take cover, you know.
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
Okay. And how old is she?
She's 20.
20, you said?
Yes, 20. Here, do you want to talk to him?
What?
Okay.
Probably talking to somebody else. Fucking yapping.
Hello.
Okay. I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people. I'm up to here. God, I'm having the worst day.
Okay, sorry. They just gave me the phone.
Is she breathing?
Hello.
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay.
Then that's probably like the other ambulance. That's probably one of the ambulance people that are en route or something's en route.
Okay.
En route. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Who's A2?
Who's A2?
I'll do it. Like Bethany or like Dylan. I need you to like talk to them, okay? I can't talk to them. I need you to talk to them. Like, oh my God.
Okay. Why can't she talk to them? Like, who is that? Why can't she talk to them?
Because I'm sure the person doesn't actually know what the hell's going on.
Oh, right. Like, one of you need to just like talk to them.
Yeah.
But then, okay, hello.
Okay, I've already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line.
Okay.
If there is a defibrillator available. Oh, good Lord, explain this.
So yeah, they just have fucking AEDs sitting around college houses.
Like,
that would be dangerous because they'd figure out ways to use it.
Oh, yeah. It's not like old school with old man.
Yeah,
Blue.
why don't you tell them to do chest compressions?
Yeah.
Oh,
Send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it. Units responding, RP's advising.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
You know, just frats would use them for something for initiatives.
Yeah, we would. We would have.
Yeah.
Patient's not conscious, not breathing, unintelligible. Yeah, okay. What's the next part? Well, Access, I know how to use it. It's easy. You turn it on and you do what it says.
Yeah.
The AEDs now.
Do people just have defibrillators?
What's that?
Do people just have those?
Well, like they in America, because we're not worried about spider attacks. They have automatic defibrillators like in a lot of places nowadays. And like if you go to like they're everywhere now. And you just literally, and if you've never used them before, like you literally put the patches on and you turn it on and it does all the work for you. It analyzes the heart rhythm and it tells you if there's, because it's kind of like if there's no heartbeat, it can't do anything. All it can do is shock you back into a regular heart rhythm.
Right.
So it'll tell you like if you wear one, like if you put one on right now and you turn on the AED will say no shock advised because there's nothing wrong. Or if you're completely stalled out, no shock advised.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you, and then you could say shock advised, and you hit it, and it'll tell you get clear, and it charges up, and it does the whole thing. So
why did no one say there's blood everywhere? It's like they're not mentioning blood.
That's the thing. We don't have one. I know that's the thing we're all avoiding. Well, maybe they're playing the game like Nick. Well, you didn't ask me about it.
Right, but why would they? But like you, because like okay, she's not breathing. Is she bleeding out? Like
no, this is a bunch of Redditors. You didn't ask me about it.
It's very strange.
It's a bunch of Reddit mods.
It feels like they're purposeful. Like no one wants.
And you know what? If they all were Reddit mods, then they all deserved death.
Stop it, Sean.
But yes, this nonsense of like, well, you didn't ask me. Okay.
All right, where are we up to? If you can, we don't
have one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have one.
Who's Q1?
Oh, okay.
I think that's Steve.
Yeah. Unconscious, but not breathing.
Do you have a defibrillator?
Who's Q3? Yeah.
Ah.
Yes, we have one.
Oh, they have one. Okay.
But are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Moscow 46 out.
Copy. I'm going on my break.
13. I think we have a homicide. Moscow engine 20 is en route. 13, 70, unintelligible. 107, I relayed it. This transcription has been reviewed with the audio recording submitted, and it is an accurate transcription. Signed, nobody. That is freaking weird as fuck. What the hell?
So. Oh, wait. Go up.
What?
No. Go up to one page. One more page. There you go. 911 call.
Wow, this is so helpful, dude.
What?
Oh, A1, man one, A, woman. Oh, thanks for decoding this one for us, Latah County.
So Q must be.
Trust the
Q
plan.
must be the
Q's the dispatcher.
emergency services. Yeah. So there's like that. So there's 5 different So there's 6 different first responder or dispatchers on this call.
Well, they talk with dispatch. Like, you might not hear them, but there are times when you're talking to dispatch, they pop on the line and they tell you what's going on. So that's not even the big issue. It's who are A1 and A2.
Big sauce.
That'd be Bethany and Dylan would be A1 and A2. Sorry. No, A and A1 would be Bethany and Dylan. Man?
One of them is a neighbor.
A2.
One of the women.
Well, they invited someone over. Like, one of their friends came over and discovered the body. The first body, apparently. Right? So, I can't remember what his name is, but...
Hunty.
Pardon?
Hunter,
that's right. Hunter. So, Hunter would be A2 man because he apparently went and saw at least one of the bodies because, and I don't know why he's saying just one of them, like as in Xana. But when they're talking about someone being unconscious, she being unconscious, that's supposedly Xana, but she's in the same room as Ethan, so I don't get how they can not see Ethan.
None
and
of it makes sense.
Yeah, and B then can't see very, very clearly that they're deceased and that there's blood everywhere. What's this unconscious thing, and why is there only one person that they're talking about?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what Gray Hughes has to say about it with some cartoons or something.
Maybe Gray can explain it. Yeah, no, that's probably it. Do you think Evan is actually Ethan? That could be it. Maybe we're hearing. Okay, let's go back down to the part that says Evan. Where's the part that says Evan? Evan. Yeah, it's Evan. That's what I copy. About 20-year-old female unconscious trying to get further. Copy. And then A2 says, yeah, it's Evan. You reckon they're talking amongst themselves going, oh, and yeah, it's Evan. Don't know. It still doesn't make any sense. Makes 0 sense.
I love how they're like, do you guys have a defibrillator? And they're like, we did 17 shots of Tito's last night.
I think, okay, CH says, I think let's disagree that Hunter is the only person who goes up to the room. Okay, so that there is that possibility, right? That Hunter goes up to the room, sees what's going on, and then potentially goes down to see Dylan and Bethany and only tells them that Xana is passed out, unconscious, doesn't tell them the full extent of what's going on. And so So they then have this conversation with 911, which is lacking a ton of information.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they just don't know. He hasn't told them. So
how did the dispatcher know how old she was?
Yeah, people have asked that. A copy about 20-year-old female unconscious trying to get further. She already knew that then. Maybe it's up in this part.
Maybe she just assumed it was a college kid and it'd be
Or
around
maybe it's
20.
up there. Maybe it's in the redacted bit up here.
I'm sorry. Nothing about this feels like a normal, like not even like the. How did they get there so fast?
That too.
I mean, it's a college town, right? So
Yeah.
they probably have local police really close.
But they don't even know what they're responding to. Like, I just feel like there'd be more questions asked. There'd be more. So the reason I'm asking is because I imagine that it had to have just been mass chaos. Like I don't think it's just like them like quietly passing the phone around. Like it's probably like they're just trying.
Oh, I'm sure people are screaming, and it's also gonna belay the issue of it's not somebody passed out, because if someone was just passed out, yeah. So it's being ridiculous. So,
what would you do if someone was passed out, Sean?
Well, I'd be like, "Hey, are you awake? You sleeping, buddy?" Or I'd roll them on their side too. Dude. Although in this case, I'd roll around her side so like all the blood leaks out too. So it's like, oh no, you're leaking blood. We should get that out of you. That doesn't look good. So let's drain out.
Also, there was a dog there that I guess didn't go near the unconscious person. The door was open. The dog.
Oh yeah, the dog thing. Yeah. The dog thing. The dog was just not barking or anything, and didn't have any blood on it.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Dog had one job.
Yeah, one job, and yeah, it was Kaylee's dog. It was Kaylee's dog. Okay, so that's all really weird. The text messages are also really weird. We won't go through all those right now, but people are getting really mad on the internet about the text messages because of the fact that like you can't question these girls who are messaging one another because like they're obviously in frozen shock at the time. And the fact they're messaging one another about stuff after one of them saw supposedly a masked man walk through the house. That's cool, but you can't question it because that's re-traumatizing them.
Yeah, you can't question it, or else the 2B version of Action Bronson start calling you names.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what do you think a defense attorney's going to do?
Well, they're going to have to be very careful. Like, that's the other thing. Like, so people are talking about how they're going to get ruined on Cross, but I think I can't see Ann Taylor doing that. I think she's going to have to be really, really careful with Dylan and
she's a female, so I mean, I think gets to push the envelope a little more than like a male would be able to, and still, because if you're a man, you don't want to be like beating up on victims as much. It just looks bad to the jury.
That's why they hire female attorneys, to do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's an advantage.
Go be soft and dainty.
That's not what I'm saying.
Talk to the chicks.
Is that right?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Travion. Well, a lot of people do see her as a suspect, Travion. But yeah. It's a Barb voice. A lot of people do see her that way, but this is the problem though. Like if they were to go too hard on her and treat her like a suspect, then the jury's just going to completely turn against the defense. So that's not going to work. I think they just need to let her testimony speak for itself. If it doesn't add up, it doesn't add up. What do you think, Sean?
I'm sorry. I've been trying to take care of something else real quick. Sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I had to be away for a second.
It's okay.
That's all right. So with the surviving roommate's testimony, I was just saying that on cross, it's going to be tricky to like have a go at them. I would say probably just let their testimony speak for itself. If it doesn't add up, then the jury just needs to see that. There'll be a lot of sympathy for them, I would expect, from the jury. So it's going to be tough for Kohberger's defense team to really have a go at Dylan and Bethany and attack the timeline that way.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see what they do.
Sean's gone.
Ruh-roh.
It's a DP case, you don't bug around. Well, I mean, this is the thing though. You could completely cut off your nose to spite your face, though, Madka. So if you were to go hard on them, it's not going to help your case, right? So, are you going to pursue them as like a third party culprit? I don't think that you could make that stand up. No. So you'd have to really build a case around that if you're going to try and have the jury put together a sort of timeline around that. And then also you've got the situation where they're feeling sorry for these victims, and the prosecution is going to make them look that way. They no matter what, no matter how this affected them with their trauma, etc., they're going to play that up. They're going to make them look like their whole lives have been ruined by this, even if that's not the case. And I'm not sure how badly they've been affected, but they'll make it seem that way, so that no matter what the defense does to question them, it will look like they're just the meanies, the nasty ones. So they can't do that. But yeah, I think there's other things for the defense to focus on in this case. There's plenty more for them to focus on. So I wouldn't go down this path personally. That's my take. There's absolutely third-party culprit, a lot of pretty clear evidence that, yeah, there is, right? But that's what we'll go back to where we were talking about earlier, Kayla, and that is if they allow these other DNA profiles to come in, and if they don't, as far as I'm concerned, that is just completely against the whole system of justice in a free country. I just think it's ridiculous, right? So how can you base your entire case on a couple of little skin cells on a object that is not the murder weapon? So that is your case, right? The rest of the case is falling apart. There is no cell data that's going to put him at that crime scene. There's blurry photos of a white car that has never been identified as Bryan Kohberger's. There's nothing that puts him in contact with those people. He doesn't know them at all. And all they've got is a couple of skin cells on an object, right? So if that's the case, how can they not have the other DNA in that house, blood DNA of unknown people, unknown males in that house coming in? If they do not allow that other DNA to be there for the jury to see it, then it's just completely unjust as far as I'm concerned. So, but CODIS, it can't handle two profiles because it's so busy. Yeah, that was one of the other things. It's just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, they did it to Richard Allen, they can do it to Bryan. And see, and this is where I just feel that there needs to be, people just need to speak up. This is out of control now. And it happened to Zach Anderson as well. Happened to him as well. You posted a great article about DNA on X. I'll have a look, Breen. Thank you. I'll have a look at that. Okay, guys. So I want to show you something. Just in regard to what's this? I'm waiting for the Marsha Clark. Anytime. Let me see. Have a look at your pretty cat. Where is he? Oh, hello. Hi. Hello.
Who's a good kitty?
All right, guys. I want to show you what has happened around here. Show you before we head off. Alrighty, so this is
Just an unconscious house.
yeah. So this was like the first house that had like a tree go through it. And usually when there's like, you know, a storm or something like that, does this happen to you guys? Like they always send out the reporters and they make them stand in front of stuff to make it look really bad. Well, they did that.
I got a tree on my house.
Yeah. So we had sea foam. Hang on, I'll show you the sea foam. There we go.
In a surf club. We were down here a little earlier today at the high tide. People were stopping and taking photos as sea foam was swept up and over across the beach. Fortunately, we didn't see too many of them try and enter just behind me, and that is fortunate because we do know that the powerful waves have actually cracked the concrete here at Currumbin. Now, the tide has receded, so we did see that sea foam start to ease, but as you can no doubt see and hear, the wind has whipped it back up. We know there is still a gale warning in place, and we are certainly feeling every inch of that here on this part of the Gold Coast at the moment.
You can't hit. Do you not understand her?
Thank you. Returning to our cyclone coverage
That's just
now.
her accent.
My God.
Okay, that's the thing. It's like you guys can't understand Australians. All right, so I love the hair. The hair is great. Sea foam looks delicious. It's disgusting. All right, so guys, all of the reporters were trying to outdo each other with who could have the most exciting, like, tumultuous background, right? And then this chick, she must have been like an intern or something because she got sent out to the worst spot. She deserves like a daytime Emmy, this chick. Wait until you see this.
And while the threat of ex-tropical
Here we go.
at Cleveland,
Check her out.
Conditions like now.
What is this fucking hell week with the Navy SEALs, dude?
Melissa, we are finally starting to feel those violent tailwinds here at Cleveland Point. We are used to the Bay Breeze here, but this is something far more ferocious, far more violent. Usually you just get a view of the waves here, but you really feel it. It's not a sea spray, it is water that is slamming into you. Cars that have been driving down here all day to get a view of the developing weather situation. They've been dropping off people to come out for a look. Well, tonight they're staying inside their cars because that sea spray is leaping over the concrete into the car park and slamming into their cars, so they've got the windscreen wipers on.
It's getting all in her
local
hair.
told me they recorded 80-kilometre wind gusts here, and you can certainly feel it. If this is the aftermath of something that was a Category 1 that turned into a tropical low as it approached our coastline, you would hate to see the end result of something any higher than that. Alfred, last night, you could barely feel it. You could just hear a bit of wind and rain, but now in Cleveland, we are starting to see windows shake, trees go sideways.
People travel there a lot.
Cats and dogs cohabitating.
It's going to be a very nervous wait to see what sort of damage we wake up to in the morning.
Oh my God.
Lily, thank you for that. The coast has copped a drenching today.
She's like, yeah, I'm glad it's you and not me.
You're wet.
All right.
All right, and okay, one more thing. So that was like 20 minutes for me. That's like obviously on the coast, but just have to show you. There's another reporter.
You're back.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch. You've sent me out to the windiest place possible to show you that it's, well, windy, in case people at home don't have any fucking windows. You know that at work are trying to get rid of you when They send you to a place where even the emergency services aren't allowed. Bloody hell! If budget cuts don't take me away, Mitch, I'm pretty sure this tide will. Shit, there's a blue bottle. I haven't seen this much blow since the Vanity Fair after party. And nor have I seen anything blow this hard since I visited Epstein Island.
Is this a real reporter or is this a joke?
Yep, they're telling you to put all of the kids' equipment away. And honestly, they're right. I haven't seen this many tramps fly over fences since there was a police raid at Diddy's place. Yeah, it is a bit windy, Mitch. You've heard of wind in the willows. Well, this is wind up my willow. I tell you what, if I bent over right now, I would be an inverted windsock. Yeah, now I hear that people are out panic buying. Well done, morons. I tell you what, the toilet paper's already gone. But you know what I think about people who are hoarding toilet paper? The more bog roll, the bigger the asshole.
You believed it for a minute. Okay, that's enough. Wind up my willow. I think she's a comedian, actually.
I think so too.
Yeah. No windows, unless you got no bloody window. Bloody hell. Oh dear. So yeah, this is pretty much what we've been watching 24/7 for the last few days, and I'm goddamn sick of it, to be honest. So yeah, at the moment, I can't drive anywhere anyway because all of the roads are cut off. Everything's flooded around me. So I'm really lucky to have power and internet that I can do this. My mom has no power right now, and she's just like, she's calling me like from her phone, which is like got 20% power left. It's like,
is she far from you?
She's only like 8 minutes drive away, but I can't get to her. So
really, it's that bad?
Yeah, because I can't, like, all the streets that, like, basically I'm up a little bit of a hill, but if you go down the hill a little bit, it's flooded. So
damn,
that's life. It'll go away in a day or so, but nothing you can do about it, really. They gave us warnings. We're all prepared. We had ice in our freezer to put into the eskies and save our food and stuff. So, you know, can't say that we weren't warned.
Crazy.
But yeah, but you know, old people, they get stressed out. So
they do.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, there were some people last night who had to get taken away from their houses in boats just near us. So yeah, that's stressful. Silent G, we don't use the C word that much. We really don't. That's a myth. We don't. Was there not an evacuation order? Yeah, so the people who got taken away last night, they got an evacuation order. But like my nephew, for example, he lives in a really low area, like it commonly floods, and he evacuated 3 days ago. So, yeah, I know he bought a house in a flood zone. Smart. Thank you, Breen. That's really sweet of you. Oh, yes, it's a myth that we all say it, Finn. We don't all say it. Some people do. Some people do. Oh, are you streaming soon, Ange? Are you streaming soon?
What was it?
Are you streaming soon?
Yeah. Probably like I said 10, but like whenever.
Oh, cool. All right. Check the link. I'll grab that link and I'll pop everyone over there.
I mean, honestly, it's like whenever
No, I'm finishing up, so I'll put you on the thing. I put you in the redirect thing. I do it now. Hang on. Let me see. This has been fun. I think I'm kind of caught up. Guys, tell me, what do I need to do? Do I need to do like a Photoshop stream or something like that about anything that's happened over the last few days? Someone sent me something about some images that was in a live. What was it?
For Delphi, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
What was that? Let me see if I can find it. I'll just grab this link first.
I don't know that there's been anything like, so the phone, the mystery of the iPhone, I feel like has been, right, she had a gray iPhone. What else? Where did we leave off with the Photoshop stuff? I know that you did the
last thing I did was all to do with the Abby on the
bridge
thing.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And I think I've exhausted that. Someone sent me something that was in someone else's live about 14 minutes in. Who was it? Might have been Kat. Kat, did you send me something? I don't know what to do with the photos of Cheyenne. Just not quite sure. Yeah, All Eyes did 2 great videos. Oh, did she? I'll have to catch up on those. Gavin Fish, that's the one. Yeah, Gavin Fish had some images that I need to have a look at. I'll have a look on the Google Drive. Cat, absolutely. All right, so yeah, there's that. And I'm going to also, those who are interested, oh, sorry, I just answered this question. Jenna told, can you uncover a pic with layers? What do you mean? If it's a Photoshop file that has layers in it, absolutely. Absolutely. But what do you mean a pic with layers? Like, can I take like layers of leaves away or something? No. But depends. Send the link to you, R&M. Oh, that was you, Hella. Okay. Sean needs to talk more. Go watch him on his channel. He talks a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate if someone talked about the shit I post. What shit did you post, Bree? What shit did you post? Okay, hang on. I'm still trying to do a few things at once here. I'm just trying to get, actually, I'm trying to get Angie's stream up so I can redirect to it.
Oh, it's
first.
okay, Hella.
Oh, that's all right.
Gavin Fish. Did he do a video recently on Delphi, or is that the one with the whatchamacallit, the clothes in the water? You know what I'm talking about? No? Okay.
Sorry.
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet because I've been, doing
What's
this.
the thing she posted I didn't see?
I don't know. I'm that's what I'm trying to.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I was.
He was the leaked clothes pics. Oh, okay. Coffee cup. Yeah. So Gavin Fish posted the clothes in the water. How long ago was that? I feel like that was a long time ago. That was like 2 years ago almost, right?
Yeah, okay. So I can have a look at that. That's fine. It's just unfortunately if it's screenshots, it's a bit annoying. But apparently he had metadata as well, which I don't know how he could have got that. But if it's in the video and he talks about it, then cool. All right, I've redirected. That's fine. Okay. We've all seen those, right? Well, I haven't, so I'll see if there's anything interesting in there. We're having a sleepover at Angie's. Yeah, of course.
I need gummy bears or I'm gonna die.
Okay, like a video that's been covered, like a video that has been covered with other pics to get to original video, a masked video of importance. A video that has been covered with other pics to get to it. You'll have to send it to me, Jen Toll. I'm not really sure if I understand what you mean, but send it to me and I'll see what I can do. And my link tree is over in my if you go to the About tab, you'll find my my email and my X and all that kind of stuff. So really easy. So thank you. Aren't there any Aussies in chat? Yeah, there's a few. There's a few here. So some people can understand what I'm talking about.
Few.
Oh, he was leaked the clothes pics. Really? I wonder why he got leaked clothes pics. Interesting. It's on X. You were talking about things on X. Okay, Breen. Metadata that doesn't exist, just ask Massachusetts. Yeah, I know. Screenshot metadata is the oldest trick in the book. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll have a bit of a look through all the tips people have given me. There's so many tips. Just the tips.
Just the tips.
Hang on just a minute. Before. You know what I have to do? You know what I have to do?
Every time a tip pops up on my screen, I smile.
He's so fucking creepy.
Yeah. I have to go through all my tips and pick out the best one.
God, we've got so many good clips.
Oh, we do. Oh, God.
Can you play that?
I don't understand it. I'm not going to pretend to.
Which do you want?
Can you do that first? Can you play them both again?
Every time a tip pops up on my screen, I smile.
Hang on.
You know, that's a great question.
Oh.
Hang on, wait, I've got another one. And just die.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous nonsense.
I hate them so much.
I know, right?
That Kathy Shank one's going to give me actual nightmares. It's going to be my sleep paralysis demon now. Oh my God.
Oh, it's okay. I love seeing tips.
Awful. It was awful.
Oh, Doug's in the chat.
Hi, Doug. How's it going? All right. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I'm going to redirect you over to Anna's waiting room. Sean, are you streaming tonight?
Actually, probably not. We got some stuff I'm going to be working on or trying to figure out. So some things have popped up.
Some tips?
Some tips.
There's a few tips you missed,
some
Dougie. Yeah.
Some tips popped up on your screen? No?
Can you play Kathy Shank again?
Sure.
The parting gift. Her fucking little creepy smile.
She's a little elf.
Oh, you're just upset. She ate your lunch.
Okay. I'm going to eat your lunch. I throw hands at you.
We need to get her daughter's book.
Her daughter blocked me on X, and I've never interacted with her before.
She blocked you? No way.
Yeah. I've never interacted with her.
I blocked her immediately before I even did a stream on her.
Damn.
So I block her, and I get her stuff off my other account. Screenshot. Block.
You should have bought her book. Then she'd be okay with you.
I want to do I want to do a reading of her book with everybody.
Same.
Find the smuttiest one.
Oh,
please, can I come along, please?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, you're gonna have a part. You're gonna read.
I need a part too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
We're so there for that.
I'm perfect for smut.
Yes.
Everyone, please subscribe to Sean, Potentially Criminal. Do we have his link in chat? Me?
No, Sean.
No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Yes.
Sean,
please do.
Tell us what you're doing for the rest of the week.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm sorry. I'm completely sorry. It's something that popped up. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So I don't really have, it'll be good stuff. I promise. That's what I can tell you.
I'm sure it will.
There you go.
Sean does Crime Stream on Thursday nights, 9:30 p.m.
That for sure is happening.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. I'll put your link in chat for you. And thank you for being here so much, Sean. And also for Dina, future Mrs. Martin, 2.0 in chat. Love you very much. Appreciate your time. And Deebs, thank you so much. You don't have a channel. You just float around. You're awesome. Love ya.
Whatever he's doing.
Bye.
He's probably
mate.
hijacking a plane.
He's probably like, yeah, something like that. And love you, my sis. Love you.
Love you.
And Ilya.
Yes.
Hey, Ilya.
Hi.
Thanks for looking after everything whilst I've been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And checking on me every 2 hours.
No, it was like once a day, woman.
Every 2 hours, you're like, you okay? Everything all right?
Well,
right?
I'm
You lost
sorry.
power?
You were the one that was freaking out.
I'm sorry.
Only kidding. You're sweet. Thank you. All right. And yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm going to go over to Andrew's chat now, and I'm pretty sure J-Rock's going to subscribe to you.
Oh,
pretty sure.
Cool.
Isn't that nice?
Nice.
Well, I'm subscribed
J-Rock's pretty
to
cool.
Sean on X now. I'm really into all this new JD Vance fan art. That's really cool.
He blocked me too.
Really?
Who did?
Yeah, I got blocked by JD Vance in like 2020, 2021.
Michael Osbrook has a channel and posts exhibits for clicks.
He sure does.
You do. Congratulations, you grifter. I love it. I love you, Michael. How are you, mate? Thanks for being here. Dear me. Oh, God. Oh, hey, woman. How are you? I didn't see you there before. Hey.
She just got here.
Hi. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Okay. So much silliness. YouTuber. Yeah, I know. You filthy YouTuber.
YouTuber.
We're all filthy YouTubers. Oh, just in it for the clicks and the likes.
Very true.
Yeah. Disgusting. So disgusting. All right, time to go. Thank you, guys. Time for the song.
Hello.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Donnie and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To be said.